Colonel, good morning. Welcome back to WNTK. I'm sure you don't mind being called an American hero, at least from my viewpoint.
Well, I do get to keep company with American heroes, John. I'm blessed to be able to do that. I do know that there's young Americans out there who put themselves at risk every single day. They go into harm's way, and they do it for the rest of us. That is the definition of a hero, and I'm blessed to be able to keep company with them on operations like we show you on this special.
Absolutely, and the special is War Stories Afghanistan, American Special Ops. You can watch it on Fox News Channel tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. As we are looking at Afghanistan, as we're looking at just the actions of what has happened in the last couple of weeks in that part of the world, the capture, the killing of Osama Bin Laden, was that done by the book? Would you have done it the same way?
Well, I'd have conducted the operation the same way and probably gotten the same outcome of the operation, except for one thing. The decisions they made in planning this thing and in putting together their narrative, and the decision to put out press releases and hold press conferences and have the president go up and thump his chest about it, is something I've never seen before. And I point that out because back in 1983 when we went to Grenada, 1985 in October that year when we captured the terrorists who hijacked the cruise ship Achille Lauro, it was this same SEAL team that was used for those operations, then called SEAL Team 6, now called DevGRU, which is the development group, which is part of just the Joint Special Operations Command, Tier 1 units that are committed only by the president. Nobody wanted to go out and make public the kinds of tactics, techniques, procedures, the numbers, who did it, how they did it. And therefore, we maintained a capability out there with uncertainty among the enemy and without divulging who our friends were. Now you've got this catastrophe, quite frankly, for all of those people in Pakistan who did help us, and there's not enough of them. And we've put at increased risk even getting things back like the tail section of that MH-60. And so the operation conducted well. The decision to make public all of this stuff that they've now had to backtrack and correct and revise and all that stuff puts at risk the ability to continue to do these operations. And it gives reasons for guys like John Kerry. Forgive me, I know he's a senator from a state near you. But, with Kerry saying things like, hey, declare victory and bring them all home, is nuts because you couldn't do these kinds of operations without bases like we've got in Afghanistan. Crazy to me.
So with the Afghanistan special tomorrow night, what will we see and what should we do in that country with those questions being asked, Colonel North?
Well, you're going to see these guys who conduct these. Now, full disclosure right up front. I agreed up front in order to embed with these guys, three-month-long embeds with these guys, that we would not divulge faces, names, identities, or give the enemy information that they don't need to know about tactics, techniques, procedures, weapon systems, equipment, and things like that. But you're going to see the real thing. This is reality television. The people conducting these high-value target capture-kill missions, going out there and doing this, you see some absolutely amazing things of the guys really doing it. This isn't some dramatic reenactment. This is the real thing. What we shouldn't be doing is divulging to the enemy how we do the kinds of things like we saw out there. We shouldn't put at jeopardy the people who do cooperate with us. And we've made this whole thing much, much harder by the way they've divulged this thing. And so SOCOM, Special Operations Command, and the Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force out there that allow us to accompany these SEALs, these MARSOC special operators, these DEA fast units, the guys that go out and conduct these operations, all agreed up front, okay, you can do this. We'll review the footage and say, oh, you can't show this face. You can't show anything but, below the neck or something like that. And you see us out there with these guys in this dramatic footage. I call it reality television because it really is.
Yeah, definitely. Colonel Oliver North, our guest here on WNTK, WUVR, the Fox News special tomorrow night on television, War Stories, Afghanistan, American Special Ops. We sit here at one end of a microphone and give our opinions on how we think things are run over there. How do the men and women, you were boots on the ground with the men and women in Afghanistan, how do they feel things are going, and how do they feel we're handling it on this side of the ocean?
Well, that's very important, John, because when you hear people like Bill Caldwell, Lieutenant General of the United States Army, or David Petraeus, the commander of the International Security Assistance Force and all American forces out there, when you hear what they say to me in these interviews, it's important to pay attention to it because it kind of defines, it does define what victory really is out there and how we get there from where we are today. And not enough attention's being paid to that back here, because you got people like Dick Lugar, who's a moderate Republican out there, saying, hey, let's just basically cut the budget and pull out, except for, quote, a very small footprint. Well, that's what we're going to get to. The question is, do you simply want to force that to happen? And the friends that we do have in that part of the world that we desperately need, saying, oops, the Americans are going to abandon ship, maybe we got to flip our sides on this thing. That's
right.
How we got to the kind of operations to begin with, starting in 1990, when everybody abandoned Afghanistan and basically turned it over to the Taliban.
The program tomorrow night is War Stories Afghanistan, American Special Ops. It's a perspective that you've not seen before, and one that will be given to you by Colonel Oliver North, Fox News Channel, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Colonel, thank you again. We still got to get you up here for some shooting over at the Enfield Outing Club. We appreciate your time. Take care.
Live free or die, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colonel. Take care. 7:58 now at News Talk 99.7 WNTK.